Hey farm hands, Farm Reef here. Welcome back to another Coral Friday episode. Hopefully you guys just had a great week. So it's Friday, that means we got new coral here on the show that we are going to dip, learn about, and check out. So what's awesome this week is I ordered some corals from Frag. They're up from near Toronto, awesome store, great guys up there, and they have a great selection of different corals for your tanks. This package here is full of SPS acro corals. They're one of my favorite corals of trying to grow, and they're very challenging if you want to try to step up your game in the reefing, because so many things are so temperamental. Fluctuations, temperature, salinity, if your alkalinity isn't on par, calcium, magnesium, just everything. There's just so many things with SPS corals that really make it challenging, but it's fun. That's what this hobby's all about. So in here, I think I got 5 different kinds. We're gonna go through them. On the show, we always coral dip our corals with our X, because just because it comes in a store, it doesn't mean it's gonna be pest free. There's so many pests out there that could get into our tank and just go crazy, eradicate, killing corals. And we invest so much time and money in there, why take a chance if you could just coral dip and then make sure and inspect that coral. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna coral dip. We're gonna get these corals out, get them dipped, make sure they're pest free, and then we're gonna go and place them into the Hulk. His lights aren't on right now, so we'll have to wait a little bit. Hopefully we can see it through the lens, if the colors pop on them right now. But I can't wait because what the thing is with a smaller frag, you have a better chance of taking off in your tank, because with colonies they'll overgrow themselves, they shadow, they're not getting the par, the lighting onto the coral. So with starting off with little frags, it does take a lot longer to grow them into those colonies, especially when a 600-gallon tank, it looks so small and you see it every day. Is it growing? You know what I mean? That's my thing. I see it all the time, but if I ask somebody else to come in and check, they're like, holy smokes, that has grown a lot. So these ones here got a few different colors. I'm pretty excited to see what they got. Frag has a good quality of coral up there, and I've gone from them before, so definitely you guys should check them out. I'll leave the links below if you guys want to go check out Frag. So without further ado, let's start opening this box, see how they packaged it up here. FedEx just dropped it off. I ordered these corals yesterday at 3:30, and they're here this morning at 11:14, so it's pretty fast. So all their boxes, they always ship it. They come in the styrofoam boxes. And now that it's fall, winter's coming here in Canada, I've noticed that they put the nice heating pad in there. It's still really nice and warm, so that's going to keep our corals from not freezing out or dying. So great job, Frag. And it's packaged really well. So what do we got here? Our first one here, hairy as you guys can read it, the F word. I thought it was pretty cool. Like when I saw the pictures of this one online, it's a very hairy, like polyp-wise on it. It looked pretty neat. And it'd be cool to see the flow in the tank just from those polyps because they're extra long. So that's hairy as beep beep. That's pretty awesome. So we got that one. Next one we're moving into here is what you see is what you get, Acropora. This one here, it looked really cool from the pictures online. It looks like the one that I've gotten. We'll know more when you get the tank lights on. It's like a very pale color to it, but you can tell the polyps have a little bit of pink on there and a little bit of green. So with these Acroporas SPS, you never know what they're gonna come, it's your water parameters. If you're keeping a low PO4, that means the zoolothan of these is very low in the coral, so that means the colors are gonna pop through more. And the more PO4 you have in your coral, it darkens up the zoolothan and it keeps it from really showing the colors of what that coral could be. So that's what we got. That's what you see is what you get Acropora, so it looked pretty cool. Don't really know what the name is on that one. All right, so the next one here is an SS Frag. This one here is a strawberry shortcake. I wonder if you guys ever seen one of them before. When it's mature, the colors, the polyps are just popping on those ones. And right now, this is just a Frag. It's about 1.5 inches. It's got very, very nice pink colorization on it. So that one has some promise. So that one's looking really good. And I got, this is a small red planet. That's got a very beautiful color too, very red, deep reds on it. And from the pictures, it really glowed under the blues, so it'd be interesting to see. So that is the red planet. And the other one that's really cool here, I really wanted to get, this is the Mega Man. The Mega Man is a beautiful pink, really vibrant green on there. It's got some really good colorization on it. And this is a very nice chunk too, so it's looking very healthy. I can't wait to really try to color these SPS up really good. That is looking real nice. So that's a nice one. And what's even better, boom, they threw in a freebie right here. It's a freebie. If you guys see this thing is lit pink. It's lit pink with like white polyps on the end, and they're fully extended right now, so that is pretty cool. And it looks very hairy. All right, so that is everything that's in the box. So we got some really nice specimens here today. We're gonna get a pair of scissors. We're gonna cut these open. We're gonna get them into this bowl. You know, they say 1 gallon of water for every 4 capfuls of Coral RX, but I always use a little bit less than a gallon because I want it really potent, because I really want to hit those pests if there's any on there. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do up 2 or a couple buckets here, because I don't want these corals really touching each other. I don't need them stinging or fighting, and I don't need that. So let's go ahead, let's get these dipped. Let's see if any pests come off, and then we'll go and get some glue and start gluing them on the rock inside the hulk. I have a very great, awesome spot on this one little arch that goes across the one side of the tank that we're just gonna start planting them along there, and hopefully they're gonna take off and they're gonna grow for years to come. All right, so we got a little bit of water in here just so we can open these up. So this is the freebie one. I'll get these open and then I'll show you guys firsthand what they look like here in the bowl before we dip them. So now we just have to add the coral dip, Coral RX, 4 capfuls. So we just want to be gentle, you know, because our these little acros, we don't want to be messing with them too much. Let's just get that mixed up. So usually everything that's going to come off here is usually your little, you know, your little shrimps or pods or anything like that. You see floating, but we're looking for like the bad stuff, like flatworms or the branchia, the bad ones. So it's gonna be nice if we can keep an eye on these to see how the growth is doing. So hey Google, set timer for 15 minutes. So we want to make sure we get our 15 minutes.
And that's starting now.
So most of all I'm seeing right now is just a small little mysis shrimp just floating around, the usual. So we got 15 minutes of this soaking in here, so we're just gonna let it do its thing. And then we're gonna get a pair of pliers over and we're gonna cut off the bottom of these plugs. Usually the plugs is where you're gonna get the pest eggs growing on the bottom. So it's one way to do it. A defense is just to cut the plugs right off the coral and glue the coral right onto the rocks. Sometimes if the coral is, you know, grown right onto the Frag plug, I'm just gonna snap off the bottom of the plug and I'll still keep the disc, but I'll really inspect the disc, use a brush on it, and just make sure there's no eggs or anything. So let's let that do its thing and then we will check it out. All right, it's been 15 minutes. Everything is looking good. All I just see like these little shrimp guys, but I don't see any flatworms floating around in there or any other little pests. So good job, Frag box. Everything is looking really clean. So I'm gonna go ahead now. I'm gonna get my pliers. I'm gonna snap these off the bottom of the discs so I have something flat to glue it in. Plus, I don't want in case there's any eggs or anything left on the bottom, but I'll do a visual inspection really quick and go from there. So the corals are still dipping, but I thought we'd take the time and we'll just talk a little bit about like acro corals and how demanding they are. So you're always gonna wanna keep your elements up. You wanna keep your magnesium, alkalinity, and calcium in check because they use all those elements to grow their skeletons, and that's what to keep a healthy coral. And it's all about keeping your elements consistent so they don't go up and down all over the place, because that's what stresses corals out, and then you cause them, you know, RTN, or just not be healthy and die on you. Because, you know, these little guys, they're not cheap, and like anything in your tank you want to see, you know, be successful, because they are animal and you got to treat them right. If you can see like my other videos or posts, I run it's almost like a robot. It's the Alcatronic. So the Alcatronic I've had in my tank for a few months now, and I thought I'd tell you guys how I feel about it. The Alcatronic has been a great piece of gear. It gives you a peace of mind. It tests your alkalinity 4 or more times a day to give you your readings and keep your tank in check. With the Alcatronic, it has a doser built in. So this can be a standalone system where you just test your alkalinity all day. And what it'll do, it'll take that sample. So say your thresholds are say between, you know, 7, 8.5, or you want to keep it tight, keep it at 8.5. It will dose what your tank has already been using. So with corals, they're going to keep growing throughout the day. They're going to be absorbing alkalinity. So the key of this machine is to keep your alkalinity nice and straight, so you don't have any ups or you have any downs. So it keeps your thresholds in check. So say you want to keep it 8.5, it'll test. And if it's just below the 8.5, it will top up your alkalinity in your tank. So it's always going to be consistent. And that's what it is about reefing, being consistent if you want to be successful. So that piece of gear, the Alcatronic, has been awesome. So it does all my dosing and my testing right to my phone. So you can see your reading. You can do, you know, if you want to dose a little bit more, it has the functions on the app that you can do that. So that is one great piece of gear that I love that I have on my tank. It's making my tank be a lot more successful just running that DKH, because, you know, when I got into the hobby, you know, it was just your test kits. The test kits work great too, but it's nice just having that readout on your phone, and it just keeps, you know, keeps everything in check. You don't have to dose when you don't have to dose. It'll dose when you have to dose. So that's a little bit of info on the Alcatronic. It's definitely a great piece of gear to get. So back to the corals. I'm looking at them. Everything's looking good. They look pest free. So all we have to do now, I just have another little container. I'm just gonna rinse them with my tank water, make sure I get the Coral X dip off there. Then we're gonna go grab some Polyp Lab grenade glue, and we're gonna glue them on the arch where I want them to be. I'll keep them spaced, but it'll be nice when they start to, you know, the table out. And I can't wait for these corals to really show off their colors. A lot of them have really great color right now, but I think we can even improve them more. So let's go ahead. We're gonna rinse these off. Let's go put them in Hulk Reef, and let's try growing them. So the lights are off right now. They're slowly turning on. The reef brakes are starting to ramp up. You know, the fish are there looking hungry. So my idea here, see this arch right along here? That's where I want to place and glue these all on. I always use the Polyp Lab premium glue. These are called the little grenades. You get a lot in here. This is like 15 bucks worth. Definitely a great product to use to grow up all your corals. All right, so good morning, gang. Doing up a little bit of different today. So I let the corals settle in all day last night, and you guys can see it's looking really good. It's got nice, really nice peach color to it. It's got great polyp extension on it, so it's going to be promising. The other one right there, the strawberry shortcake, it's got really good polyp extension on it this morning. And the Mega Man Acro, even with the natural light that's going on, it still has a vibrant green color to it. So hopefully I can really color these up, give some amino acids. It's going to do like a really green with a peach pink hue inside the skeleton, so it's going to look really awesome. And then over here, right beside the one there, the one on the right, that's the hairy as FUCK, they call it. It's gonna have some good potential, some good colors. Because right now it's barely any of the blues are on. So just say like some of these colors is just the natural color of what the colors look like. I've been really doing lots of feeding and doing the amino acids. So we got lots of potential on these little frags. So these were directly right from Frag Box. Thanks Frag Box for sending them down. Can't wait to see how these are gonna grow out. All right, farmhands. So hopefully you liked that episode of Coral Friday. There's some really nice specimens from Frag Box. They have a great selection of all kinds of different corals from beginner to advanced. So make sure and check them out, everyone. So make sure and tune in next Friday. You never know what kind of specimens I'm gonna find that we're gonna add to Hulk Reef and check out. So if you guys can hit that like button, if you guys can subscribe, I'll see you guys on the next video.